Welcome back to another episode of Melanin Mysteries. If you have made it this far and you haven't canceled us as of yet, hey y'all. So we appreciate you. We have made it to episode 20. Yay us. So we are back with an episode so crazy you wouldn't believe me if I told you. So today we're unraveling a case that has more twists than a curly fry and enough rumors to fill a small town tabloid. This is a head-scratching story of Courtney Palmer, a guy who didn't just disappear but left behind a maze of suspects, conflicting stories, and some seriously wild theories. Oh, and did we mention there's some pigs involved? Yeah, real ones. So somewhere in this mystery are a few oinks adding just the right up bizarre to an already unbelievable story. So grab your detective hats, maybe a mud-proof poncho, because this case is about to take you on a wild ride through one of the strangest disappearances you'll ever hear about. So get ready to snort, laugh, and scratch your head as we dig into the story of Courtney Palmer. I'm your host, Tiffany.
And I'm your co-host, Willie. Let's go ahead and get it. Okay, before we start this case, I just, you got your monologue and I don't want to interrupt. I just want to we got to congratulate ourselves 20 episodes. And we do appreciate all you listeners. And for the ones who hasn't canceled me, I'm working on it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to be me. I'm going to be me. So with that being said, let's get on with this case. Now, this case is like two cases in one, right? There are going to be a lot of names involved. So we're going to try and remind you of who's who so you don't get lost along the way because it's a lot. So this crazy case starts on the evening of Tuesday, November 6, 2016 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Coincidentally, that was election night. And we're going to talk about that. And that was between, remember, Trump and Hillary. You remember what you were doing that day? That day? Do
No
you
idea.
remember?
No,
Yes,
I
I
don't.
was I was doing what I was doing 3 days ago. Just looking like, "No, no, no." S So the night already started in tragedy, and it didn't stop with the election. So an officer is doing his rounds around the city, and he happens to pull up to an apartment complex where he heard gunshots. He gets out and people are screaming, "Somebody got shot, somebody got shot." So he calls for backup before going to find out what the hell is going on. He finds a man who has been shot multiple times in the torso, among other places. He is whisked away to the hospital nearby, so hopefully his life can be saved. The crime scene is immediately taped off. One of the responding officers is Detective Jason White. Now at the scene, it's a shit show, right? There's people standing outside. The victim's bloody shirt is found outside on the grass, but it is immediately noticed that the shooting took place inside of an apartment, not outside. So Detective White and his colleagues go inside to see what's going on. What's up? What's up? What's going on? Inside the apartment, they find three shell casings from a 9mm in the living room. There's blood splatter on the walls, and in the back bedroom, they find two more shell casings. But wait, this is not the victim's apartment. This about to get good.
So the victim is 39-year-old Carl Harris, aka Duke. And I know what you're thinking. This case is supposed to be about Courtney Palmer, but let me cook. Just let me cook. So we aren't going to give you any background information about Carl, well, simply because he isn't the focus of this case, but he is a very intricate part. So detectives, they find the woman who lives at the apartment. Hey, come on down to the station. Let's figure out the who, what, why, when, and where. So the woman, she's very cooperative. She goes down to the station. And before they leave the scene, they happen to find the victim's girlfriend in the parking lot. So should they like, come on, we're gonna round you up, we're gonna take your ass down to put her in the back of the car, and they take her right on down to the station so they can figure out what the hell that happened. So Detective White, he questions the victim's girlfriend first. So she says her and her dude were at home when Courtney Palmer took off in their car. So their friend Courtney borrowed one of their cars. It was a gold Monte Carlo. I hated that damn car.
Man, I love Monte Carlo. I had three of them. Actually, yeah, I had a 95, a 2001, and a 2003.
Not
Oh,
you bought
I
the
used to
same
love
car 3
them.
times. I hated that car, especially when they, like, like, they did it again. I hated that
Wait,
car. I
which
was so
one?
glad when that went out
The
of
last
style.
model?
Yeah, I was so glad
Oh,
when that went out of
man,
style.
that
Ugh,
shit was man,
that was a hood
oh,
nigga car.
and I poured so many holes in that car.
I would not talk to a nigga in a Monte Carlo. I hated that car. So anyway, Detective White, he's very familiar with Courtney because he's come across him so many times over the years. So girlfriend, she continues and she says that Courtney came back, but he didn't have the car. That Monte Carlo, he didn't have it. He left with the car and came back empty handed.
Shit,
So
man. Look,
Carl
nigga,
is
don't
like,
don't
it's
come
like,
back.
man, what the fuck is my car?
Don't come back. You leave with my car and don't come back, nigga. Please don't.
Right. So Courtney's like, man, I was out there and somebody snatched the keys from me and took the car. So Carl come back in the house like, oh hell no, we go babe, let's roll. We about to go get my car. So girlfriend, she drives Carl and Courtney back to the apartment complex. And they said in the car, Courtney was going off. He popping off, talking about they had him fucked up. So when they pull up to the apartment, the Monte Carlo is still parked in the parking lot, but the keys are nowhere to be found. So Courtney, he points out the apartment and Carl makes his way to the door to see if he can get his keys back. I mean, makes sense, nigga. This is
Who
like,
just snatching keys and then leaving the car? That's this
but I'm tripping that this nigga like literally came back without the car.
without the car. I mean, if it's legitly happening, of course you're gonna come back like, hey, these niggas. But who just snatched the keys, take the car, and park their shit? Like niggas is wild, man. It's wild. It's a
We gonna get
wild
to it. It was
time.
it was a reason. It was a reason for all this.
Okay, all right.
So Carl he knocks on the door. Girlfriend don't know what was said because she was still downstairs. No, she just there to make the exchange. She just
So
let
who did she answer the door?
no another lady answers the door.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, the girl. Okay,
So
okay.
so she says Carl walked into the apartment. Next thing she knows, guns start popping off. She ran one way, Courtney ran the other. Then she was like, "Oh shit, I left my nigga," so she got to go back.
Oh, women. It's
And
like,
she sees
damn.
her man. I
Women
mean,
leave. They need women. Y'all be leaving y'all man at the worst time. And look what John F. Kennedy wife did to him. Know what I'm saying? She tried to bail out the car. That was some bullshit.
well, shit. I mean, it ain't reason for both of us to go down. Shit. I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. Well, you know I'm a runner. You know that nigga pull a gun out, I am go.
Yes, you did that to me. Yes, your best friend. I got a gun pull out, and you didn't even call. You had somebody else call. You don't want no connection to the case whatsoever. That's some bullshit.
Because I'll tell you how they would have spent that story, baby. It would have been a hot
Oh
mess.
my
Wouldn't even been the truth. And out,
god.
yeah, somebody had to live to tell the story the right way.
I guess so. I guess so.
So she comes back and she notices her man. He bloody and shit. She like, oh my god, babe, you been shot. So he like, yeah, I been shot. So that's where we're at. He's been whisked off. He's in surgery or whatever. So she's still in the interview. So during the interview, she gets a phone call from the hospital letting her know that her dude Carl, he's in stable condition in the hospital. So we're
But
good.
I'm not even mad at what happened because my car, somebody take the keys to my car and just at the house, nigga. It's gonna be gunshot something. I like how these gunshots. It's gonna be something, man. You just say, man, let me stop talking all that shit. I ain't shooting nobody, man. I'm the most scariest nigga you can know what I'm saying, but it sound good. So let's talk about Courtney Palmer. Courtney Glenn Lee Palmer was born June 18th, 1993 in Los Angeles, California. To his parents, Aaron Palmer and Deborah Wooden, he had quite a few siblings: Tamika, Jamaica, Aaron the third, Artisha, Nikki, Keisha, Bianca, Erica, and Cabria.
Sound like a DMX
Damn,
song.
yes, that bitch had more kids than the pit bull. That is a lot of nigglets. That's a lot. I wonder was it the same? Was it all by the same people?
No, I think most of those were his dad's kids.
Oh, but guess what? Because it's given that Papa was a Rolling Stone. His parents weren't married, and his mother moved him to Tulsa, Oklahoma when he was 9. His mother said he really missed his calling as a comedian, and he left others with a loving expression of joy, laughter, goofiness, and fun. He loved to build cars. Courtney was also diagnosed with ADHD, bipolar disorder, and schizophrenia. So the nigga he was the little Lulu, little
So
crazy.
let me pause you right there because I had to look and see if because I didn't know that was possible that you could have bipolar and schizophrenia, but they said
That's a
it's a
trifecta.
very yeah, they say it's a very rare condition to have both bipolar and schizophrenia, but it is possible. I was like, oh wow.
Yes, that's that's oh geez. Yeah, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. So he was also part of the Crips. So he's a he's a retarded, crazy ass game banger. This nigga got bipolar,
Here you
schizophrenia,
go. He starts
ADHD,
early. They
and he was
already
part of the
talking
Crips.
trash.
They called him Crazy K. Okay, let me stop. They didn't call him Crazy K. I just made that up. So Courtney had
I
3
think his
children
name started with a C, so I don't know where you got K
I
from.
know, right? Right. Courtney had 3 kids before his passing. Dallas, Shannon, and Courtney. It was said that he was a very active father. He did have a pretty lengthy rap sheet for drug use, assault, and a few traffic violations. And I can definitely see that when you're messing with the trifecta. Detective White wants to speak with Courtney. He said he's a decent kid. He just hangs around some bad people. So while he has another officer track Courtney, he goes back to speak with the woman who lives in the apartment. She says her children, sister, friend, their children, and her friend were in the apartment when a man kicking at the door asking about some keys. She said she had no clue what he was talking about. Like, nigga, this is a nigga that's kicking at my door asking for some keys. I don't know what's going on. She said she got scared, so they all took cover in the bathroom. Detective White asked who was the man inside the apartment. She said, man, there was no man inside my apartment. Nah, Detective White getting annoyed. He's like, look, we know there was a dude in the apartment. He says, so who was shooting? She says, sir, I don't know. I was hiding in the bathroom the entire time. So nigga came in shooting and shot himself. That's what she basically wants them to believe, right?
Pretty much. Pretty that's what
Okay,
it
just
sounds like to me, so I like whatever.
yeah, just
So
making
and
sure.
right. So an officer he calls from the hospital and says that there's a man at the hospital and he saw the whole thing and he needs to speak with someone. And that man is Courtney. So they let the woman go because they know she's not telling the truth, but they can't press her any further. So they hope that Courtney will be able to fill in the blanks on what happened. So Courtney had been escorted down to the station and he is ready to start talking.
Okay, so you go over to that apartment, and you guys were up there hitting on the door, or he was.
Carl knocked on the door. He didn't hit on the door. He knocked on the door. There was some little guy came out and said, "Hey, man, I got keys in here." Everybody pushed to the back room. And that's when guns started shot firing.
Where were you when that was going
I
on?
was standing right behind Duke. I'm nervous, man. Man, look, I'm trying to help y'all, bro. Solve all these murders, bro. Damn, man, I got so much to tell y'all, bro. Right thing for my daughter.
First thing I want is I want to help your friend tonight. You go over there to that apartment. Why'd you go over there?
There's Carl wanted his car keys back. GPS. Can you give me a GPS?
Why do you need a GPS?
So you motherfuckers won't come down there and kill me? Boom. And you got me a Newport like I'm my motherfucking man. That's why I'm going to California with my sister. Can you get me there? Please?
I'm not going to be able to get you on a bus tonight. I
No,
can tell you
man.
that.
Look at me, man. I'm hurt. I'm scarred from this street.
Sit down and relax.
No, I'm sitting down on the ground.
You said you're hungry?
Yes, I'm hungry, man.
We'll see if we can get you something to eat.
Yeah, come on. It's a long night with me, buddy. You ready to go home and get some sleep?
Hey, man, I'll work all night. You know that.
I know you do. No drugs or nothing, huh?
Nope.
Straight free, just like me.
All right. Give me a quick minute. Sit tight.
So after speaking with Courtney, and Courtney gave them the name Terry and says that he is the one who pulled the trigger and he also ID'd him by photo. But the detectives don't feel comfortable getting a warrant for whoever Teddy is, as Courtney mentioned that he was off his medication and he really for real seemed like he was high. And they wasn't talking about he was high off weed. So they advised
Nigga
Courtney to go
crazy.
home. Right. Go home to his mother's house and get some sleep. So before Courtney leaves, Detective White says, quote, "You're gonna die if you keep living like this, and I don't want you to die." So the officers take Courtney home and they tell him to call after he gets some sleep and takes his meds. So the next day, Detective White has found the woman who took the key from Courtney, and she agrees to come down to the station. She says she's known Courtney for years, and she was at the apartment visiting her friend. A few hours earlier before the shooting, she said she saw Courtney. He had hopped out of the car, and when he was driving, he was like swerving. And when he got the car, she noticed that he was high, so she took the keys from him and said, "When you sober up, call me and I'll give you the keys back," which is
Okay,
very
okay.
responsible, right?
Very
Very
responsible.
responsible.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. Friends don't like let friends drive high. Now drunk, that's different, but not high.
right. Right. So she was still in possession of the keys at the moment, and she said she felt really bad because had she never taken the keys, Carl would have never been shot. And she said she just took the keys because she was just trying to be a good friend, but she had left the apartment before the shooting happened. so she wasn't there. So the detectives, they go to the hospital to see if Carl can tell him who shot him, but he's still unresponsive.
Damn. They didn't kill Carl. Um, so it's time for detectives to go back and speak with Courtney. But they can't find Courtney. Right? Remember they sent this little crazy ass home and told him to get some rest. They can't find his ass. So in the meantime, another tip comes in. And the man says, I was at the apartment and I would like to make a statement. They just come out the woodworks. Damn. The man, Bradley, comes into the station and sits down with detectives. He said, yeah, I was there that night when the man came kicking on the door. I was the one who shot him.
Damn.
Exactly. Mind blown. He said that Carl pushed past him into the house in a rage. He was scared and he ran into the bathroom. He said he was going for his gun. He looked up and Carl was standing in his doorway. Bradley said it was either him or me. So he said, fuck that. Bam! And popped his ass. When asked why he didn't stay at the scene, he ran because he was scared. They put Bradley on ice until they could figure out, what needs to be done. But they still need to speak with Courtney, right? But they can't find Courtney. They don't know where he's going. So low, they should never sent his ass home. This nigga crazy. He bipolar, schizophrenia, and a nigga got ADHD. That's like this nigga's a walking time bomb. So a few days go by and still no Courtney. The police get a call and it's an anonymous caller from Crime Stoppers. Now look, check this out. The caller says that Courtney is dead. He was beaten to death in an apartment and that he had been fed to pigs in Muskogee County. Detective White is like, fed to the pigs. I'm like, what the fuck you talking about, fed to the pigs? The caller said that a rumor is going around that Courtney set up to be shot, but the caller doesn't know who did it. But they tell him that he should look into Charletha Mack. So I heard that. That's what they used to do back in the mafia days. They said they'd get some pigs, right? And they would not feed them. So these little niggas be starving, like hungry as hell. Like they don't feed them at all. And then they said they don't body them. They said they would eat them niggas to the bone.
I have no words.
No, seriously, man. And the fucked up
I
thing
know.
that
I'm just saying, like, that's crazy. Like, I have no
yes.
words because you done got
Yeah,
fed
because
to
I
the
you
pigs.
because you be fucking some bacon up. That's why.
The two don't even correlate in my head.
It
Pigs,
do.
bacon,
Pigs
two
eat
totally,
anything.
two totally different things. I don't care that bacon good as hell. I will never give up bacon,
I
and
know.
I
I
don't
was
like
just,
turkey
just
bacon
throwing it.
either. Give me my damn bacon. Love
Man,
it.
turkey bacon is like leather. It's like a leather belt.
It don't even cook right. It just
It
don't.
don't. It's like a
Mm-mm.
piece of paper and they put flavor and they color it.
I've never even tasted because I tried to cook it for my friend once and it just didn't even look right and I was like, girl, no, I can't.
Now
I'm
beef
mad.
now beef bacon is good. It's just
It's
expensive as hell.
cool, but it's nothing like
No,
bacon.
I ain't
Bacon.
nothing like the sweet taste of divine swine.
Mm.
Whew. I tell you. Oh,
So Charletha Michelle Mack was born December 15th, 1976 in San Diego, California. I have no information about her upbringing, but she was around 37 at the time of this case. We do know she had at least one son, and he was grown during this case. And she had a pretty hefty criminal record, which included some larceny charges, possession, unauthorized use of a vehicle, possession of stolen property. She was in them stores stealing in people's shit,
hey,
basically.
but that's the second case that we had. The one we just did with the champion dude, the unauthorized use
Carlton,
of a
yes.
vehicle. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. I was stealing shit. Yeah, so this bitch was a thief, basically.
a damn
She was a
thief.
klepto, like we used to call
Klepto.
them back in the day. That bitch, cause she take everything that wasn't nailed down.
5 finger discount.
And so, and it said this went on for some years. Like, I mean, her rap, it was very lengthy, and she's done a lot of time. So, according to one of her many Facebook pages, because she got like six, seven of them, and it was real petty. Because I noticed like somebody had like tagged her and was like, "This her new page. Go do what y'all do." People be petty, man. But
I ain't
anyway,
mad at it. I like it. I love the pettiness. Let's get it. Yes. Go
so she
ahead.
went to Tulsa Community College at some point. One page says she was self-employed, and then another one page her page says she worked at Sky Packaging Materials. So I don't know what the bitch did. Don't know. She probably took crack on the side too. Who knows? So police knew of this house from past encounters. So they get a warrant before they roll up on Charletha. And when they get there, Charletha's there along with her son and his girlfriend. So they check the house, and someone was like, "Bring on CSI too." So CSI come in with that good old luminol and they go straight to the bathroom like the caller told them to. And all in the bathroom, it light up like a Christmas tree. Blood splatter is all over the bathroom.
From the
So they like,
windows to the wall.
they just come, we just round everybody up. Let's go on down to the station. So first they question the girlfriend, who's Janetta Thomas. Again, almost no information found on Janetta, but she was 19 at the time of this case. She explained that she had no idea what was going on. She did say that she knew who Courtney was because he had a baby by Charlize's niece. And he would stop by from time to time, but she didn't know him. And that was really all she had to say about that. So police don't believe she's being 100% honest, but they like, okay, just go on. We'll circle back to you if we need to. So next they call in Charlitha's son, James, and they ask him, where's Courtney? He was like, fuck it. I'm going to tell y'all what everything y'all need to know. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. He pulled a little Woody and was like, I ain't going to be in trouble. Okay, I'm going to tell you everything that happened.
Y'all
He
nigga, just
did
give me
so.
something to eat. Just give me something to eat. I'm gonna tell y'all everything you need to know, Joe.
They didn't have to give him nothing to eat. He just said he was gonna go ahead and tell the whole story. So he said he was in his room and he heard screaming, so he came out. James said he saw a man named Gerald Lowe and his girlfriend who had been staying at the house with them in the living room, and the girlfriend was beating on Courtney and yelling, "You set up my cousin." So Courtney was pleading that he didn't have anything to do with Carl being shot. So James says that the beating went on for hours. He said that it started around 11 p.m. and went all the way through the night. And he said at one point they had Courtney in the bathtub and they were beating him.
God damn, that's like they did a whole goddamn shift on this nigga, man.
They
A
really
8-hour
did.
shift. Damn.
Yeah. So finally, he said when the screaming stopped, he saw Gerald and the woman wrap Courtney's body up in some cleaner's bag and take him out, and they got in a truck and left. He said it was a white pickup truck. So Detective White's like, oh, so who's the girlfriend? But James doesn't know her name. So for the moment, they let him go too.
Whew, this is getting crazy. So next up, they finish up with Shalita. Shalita tried to start with. She had no idea what was going on with Courtney. She said he stopped by the house like he always do, and that was it. Detective White told her to cut the shit. All right, cut. They already spoke to her son, and they know what happened. They said, "We know you called Courtney to your house to set him up to be killed," and she denied that. She said that Courtney just popped up like he normally does, and they had plans to snort some cocaine. I knew
See,
crack was
told you it was
involved.
crap. See,
Crack is always involved. I told you, man, crack is always involved. But when he got there, Gerald and his girlfriend flipped out and started beating him, and then she corroborated the remainder of the son's story.
Courtney Palmer. You know him.
Courtney got a baby by my niece. He's a pretty cool cat.
You know Duke as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What have you heard about that situation?
I don't hang around too many people, so I don't.
I'm going to do you a monster favor. Usually I'll just let you sit in here and lie and lie and lie. And I'm really not in the mood for it. I already know the story. I don't know what's up because your son already told me. You need to do the right thing right here, right now, because this is serious.
Courtney came over and Courtney wanted to do some Tony with me. I told
Which
her,
means cocaine.
right.
The word is that you lured him over there to get high to find out what was up. Even if you did, I don't care.
I called Courtney over there. Courtney just popped up
Okay.
out the blue. He always pops up. He just kept talking loud. That's when the girl came out the back room, where she's supposed to be some kin to Duke. Courtney was on the couch, like, sitting just like me.
Mm-hmm.
And she was on top of him with her legs back here.
Okay.
And as she's sitting on him, she was like, ooh, I could just kill you, She reached and got a pocket knife from somewhere. And sliced him right there, and I was like, hey, chill out.
What else happens after he gets cut? Because a lot more stuff happened. A lot more.
He got torture from my back, and I just couldn't take it no more, so I goes back to my room.
Gerald choked Courtney after they took him from the tub while the girlfriend stomped on him until they wrapped him up and took him out to the truck. So, God, they were brutal with this shit. They asked how did her bathroom get cleaned up. Shalita said she cleaned it herself. They show her a photo of Gerald, and she correctly identifies him. Like, yeah, that's the nigga. But she also doesn't know the girlfriend's name.
so how you got a bitch in your house and you don't even know that bitch name?
Man, you know how nigga be bringing hoes over like, yeah, this is my little friend, my little lady friend. They do that
Well,
shit all
first
the
of all,
time.
your grown ass ain't laying up at my house. You ain't my
Nigga,
kid.
how
You ain't
many
laying at
hoes
my
have
house.
my brother brought over to my mom house
He
and we
bring a
don't know
hoe
their
every time.
name?
Every time I see him, he got a new bitch. But
Oh
that's
shit. We just last week.
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, every time I see nigga, he got a new bitch.
Yes. Well, I don't know that bitch name. So, like I tell about my brother, he be having hoes all the time. So she said she don't know the girl name, like we said. Charlita also mentions that a girlfriend went to a convenience store and came back with bags and bags of ice. So it looked like she done did this shit before. That's what it looked like to me.
Probably.
Detectives decide to let Shalita go for the moment because more than likely she can find out who the girlfriend is faster than they can. But they make it abundantly clear that this is far from over. But Shalita says she's willing to cooperate.
So detectives now at least have a name to go by, and they start looking into Gerald Lowe. So Gerald Lowe was born June 28th, 1977. Not much about his background, but we did find out that he came from like a decent like upbringing, but he chose a life of crime instead. Again, he had a very lengthy criminal record. Starting back in 97, he had multiple charges of assaulting a police officer, drug charges, weapons charges, and so much more. And he was also said to be gang related. So Gerald and his girlfriend, they were both homeless. So they couch surfed. So
Gang,
cute,
gang,
right?
bitch.
Ain't that cute?
Yeah, I'm not saying, man. Look, damn, they, how homeless people find love. Tiffany, we gonna pray for you.
Right. I'm like, niggas homeless.
They found love. Damn.
Wild. This is wild in these streets. So detectives, they released Gerald's photo to the media in an attempt to hunt him down. So Detective Ronnie Letterman is also working on the case, and he remembers that Charlita said that the girlfriend went to the store and bought those bags of ice. So they go pull surveillance footage from the nearby Quick Trip. And well, what do you know? A woman gets out of a white pickup truck along with another young lady, and they go inside. So the woman they assume to be the girlfriend has on a very distinctive sweatshirt with the word Cal across the front. And the other young lady on the surveillance is none other than Janetta Thomas, James's
Ooh.
girlfriend,
Ooh.
who's Charlitha's son. She was at the house. Remember, she said she ain't even know what was going on.
Man, cameras don't lie, baby. The cameras don't lie.
So they was in there. They was, they was getting some snacks, getting some candies, probably some twigs, some Skittles. They got something to drink and a couple bags of ice before leaving the store and probably heading back to Charlitha's house, I'm assuming. So the detectives noticed that the white pickup truck is a GMC model and it has a very distinctive scratch on the hood of the truck. So Detective White and another officer, they go ride through a small city called Summit where they said they're known pigs to see, if they may run across Gerald's truck. This city only has a population of 136 residents.
God dang. Shit, that ain't even a city, man. That's a
That's
goddamn
like a
club.
block. It's
Yeah,
like
that's
two
like a blood.
blocks.
That's a church.
Shoot,
Jeez.
a lot of churches got more parishioners than that.
Yeah, true, true.
So unfortunately, they don't find the truck. So they go back to the station and they start attempting to locate Janetta, but she's MIA too.
Mm. Man, 136 residents, man. That ain't, jeez Louise. All right, another officer calls in with a tip for the location of Gerald. He is supposedly staying with a girl named Tierra. Maybe that is the girlfriend's name. So they head out to check out on the lead. When they look her up, she has no criminal record, but they do find a vandalism report filed against her, Courtney Palmer. So they expeditiously head to the apartment. When they get to the apartment, they meet Tierra with a warrant, to search her apartment or whatnot. And they also realize that she is not the other woman on the surveillance photo from the store. Tierra says that is Ayla, right? Ayla, Aela.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle Riddle. She said,
Michaela.
Michaela, I look, hey, the nigga ain't shit changed. It's just, they ain't shit changed. I'm still bad with names. She said Michaela and her boyfriend had been staying at her apartment. She said that she had been wanting to speak with someone, but she didn't know who to turn to.
The,
Bitch.
the police.
Exactly. Who do I call when something happened and it was a crime committed? Like, who? Detectives are like, well, now it's the perfect time to spill it. Tierra says she hadn't seen Courtney in about 3 weeks. They had broken up, but that wasn't unusual. But not hearing from him had her shook. That wasn't like him. She had been really upset with Michaela. Asked her what was wrong. She said she missed Courtney. Allegedly, Michaela said to her, You ain't gonna be seeing Courtney again. And when Tierra asked her what she meant, allegedly Michaela responded, "This some first 48 type shit."
It's so
Damn,
funny. They
bitch.
were literally on first
Yeah, then
48.
you was on first 48, man. Yeah. They did ask Tierra what she thinks happened to Courtney. And she said, I don't even want to say this, but I think they took him somewhere and killed him. She also says that Gerald and Michaela moved out about 3 days ago, but she doesn't give them Michaela's phone number before they leave.
Why
Michaela
the hell
Riddle,
you just letting random like what is with no you and your grown first of all, no, your grown ass can't stay here. And when you stay here, you not about to bring somebody else with you.
man, I don't know, man. Niggas is crazy nowadays. I mean, birds of a feather flock together. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you ain't doing that shit, nigga. I won't even let my family stay at my house. I mean, let alone some random nigga with some random bitch. No.
Cause your brother's he a good one. He be them bro. He always
Man, yeah, nigga, I'll wake up, nigga. We all be hard tied. Know what I'm saying? This nigga, he don't be knowing what he be doing, man. We gonna pray for him. But Kayla Riddle was born December 14th, 1991. From what we understand, she had a rough upbringing, nothing stable. She didn't have any criminal history. She was much younger than Gerald, but they made the relationship work.
yeah,
Back
because
at
he was born in the 70s. She was born in the 90s. Yeah, that's a
Yeah, that's some old nigga shit. That's nasty. Well, yeah, that is. Well, that's like a 20-year difference.
mm-hmm.
So what's the cutoff? When is it like? Well, what's the cutoff? So I'm just saying hypothetically, if a girl is 21, hypothetically, what's the oldest you could be before like, all right, nigga, that's just nasty? What would you
I
say?
don't know. I remember when I was 24, I did this dude that was 39. And to me,
All
he
right,
was an
that's a
old
yeah.
nigga.
Okay, yeah, that's enough. We're gonna go ahead and just move right on. Back at the station, the detectives um issue a warrant for Janetta, Gerald, and Michaela. At this point, it's only been about 3 weeks since Courtney has been missing with no body. They can't declare him legally dead just yet, so the warrant is for assault and battery with intent to kill.
So to find Jared and Michaela, they used the phone records of Michaela to track her down since Tierra had given them her phone number. So they find in the area of 47th Street, they know it's some apartments and some motels in that area, and they decide to see once again if they can locate the truck. So in an apartment complex, they come across a white GMC pickup truck with a very distinctive scratch across the hood. So they decide to stake
Oh.
out the area and call for backup, and they stay throughout the night. And while they are waiting, they get a call that Janetta has turned herself in.
Sweetie, I don't like getting lied to. I told you that.
No, I just scared.
Okay, I think you realize the gravity of the situation, and you realize that it's very, very important for me to hear the story.
Yes. Well, we were just chilling. To be honest, we got high. We was all getting high.
Okay.
I fell asleep. And then I woke up. Charlie said, Jenna, why'd the quick trip with her? Why'd the quick trip with her? And went to quick trip. She was like, can you grab 2 bags of ice for me? I said, yeah, sure. I didn't know what the ice was for. When we got to the house, I put a bag of ice on the counter. She took the bag and threw it at Courtney's head. Just threw it at her. Into the tub. And, the beating got worse. It got worse. And it got worse. That boy was tortured with hands, feet, hot water, ice, and,
It's all right to cry.
that boy was begging for his life. Please, please, please. I didn't do it. You know, I just went back into the room. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to hear it. So I turned the TV up.
Take your time, look through that stack, and see if you see the individual that you know is Gerald's girlfriend. That her?
Yes.
Okay.
I keep asking Charlie, why would you let something go on like this in our house? And she was like, I mean, I didn't want it to go on, but it got so far, I had to finish. They did that boy pretty bad. They did him really, really bad.
So they arrest and charge Janetta for first-degree murder. Next, they coming after Charlita for accessory. And while all this is going on, an exact apartment location was obtained and they go back with a search warrant. So Gerald and Michaela come out without incident. Gerald went quietly, but Michaela, on the other hand, was popping off at the mouth. Like popping off. So inside the apartment, they find the cow sweatshirt that Michaela was wearing on the quick trip surveillance. And they were both interrogated. Michaela went first.
Detective White, this is Detective Leatherman.
What's going on?
Well, we'll get to that. Let me make sure that first off I've got your correct information. What's your legal name?
You know all the information you need to have me in this room, so you tell me what's going on.
Right now you're sitting here with some serious warrants for your arrest.
What's going on?
Assault and battery with intent to kill, which is basically attempted murder, which is likely going to turn into murder. For the disappearance of Courtney Palmer.
Where's y'all evidence at? Y'all don't have no evidence against me.
We've got a motherload of evidence.
Y'all have no evidence against me.
Yeah, we do. You know Charlita? This young lady. You don't know her? How about this young lady? Janetta? You were buying ice with her at Quick Trip on November the 11th at 6:15 in the morning.
No, I was not.
Yeah?
I never met her before.
Okay. Whose hooded sweatshirt was that inside of the house that said cow on it? Is that yours or his?
That's you? No.
That's a cow sweatshirt, is that right?
That ain't me.
And there's you with that girl.
That's you with the girl. And you
That's
guys are
not
buying
me.
4 bags of ice right there.
That's
Picture
not
that.
me.
You're on.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm ready to go. Lay down. I have no reason to be here.
You're pathetic, to be honest with you.
You're
You're
one
one of
excuse for a woman.
a woman. That's a good one. I take it you're not gonna give me your DNA.
For what?
We'll get it through a search warrant. It's all good.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, we're done. She doesn't want to cooperate with that.
I'm
She-
being accused of something I didn't
Yeah.
do.
Well, if you've never been in the house, why wouldn't you want to give it
You should
up?
already have all that. If you're going to sit here and call me pathetic, you should do that on your own.
Okay,
You know
well,
what?
he
I wanna
didn't
go
call
to
you
myself.
pathetic. Why don't you get it?
I want to go to my cell, please. Thank you, woman.
Basically, as you can see, she was being an ass. She didn't say anything. Next, they try and speak with Gerald. He tells them his stomach hurt and he won't speak without an attorney. And they're like, man, I got a shit. This dude,
You should have a
he,
bubble because you know your ass about to
he
go
had
away
the
for the rest of your life.
BGs. He's like, I ain't talking. He said Courtney was my partner, then says gots to be more careful. He is escorted to his cell.
That was a book, Gots to Be More Careful. Shannon Holmes. Classic.
Since they now have Michaela and Gerald in custody, they need to find Courtney's body. They have the news run a story showing Courtney's photo, asking if anybody has any information on where he could be and where he may have been killed and fed to the hogs. So it's a difference between hogs and pigs, yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The next day, a tip comes in. A man says he saw Gerald at an abandoned house in Muskogee County. He said Gerald used to live there about 6 months ago, but he had gotten evicted. 3 weeks back, he saw Gerald at the house and asked him what he was doing. Gerald said he was cleaning up. Detective White asked if he had a woman with him when he was at the house, and the man said he sure did. The two detectives make their way to the address they were given. They go through the house. Inside, they find a erection pump vacuum. What kind of freaky shit is that? How old were they? How old? They was in a. Oh, he was an old nigga, though, right?
He was only in his 30s.
And he need an erection pump vacuum? What's going on here? Which they bag and seal for evidence. In the backyard, they find a fire pit. It contained a partially burnt mattress and what looked like to be the remains of a body. They can identify a human skull and bone.
So
Damn.
let me stop you right there just 1 second. I do have the photo.
Oh yeah, you gotta post the photo. You gonna
No,
post
we
it?
cannot post a photo. Absolutely
Why?
not. Because it's going to get taken down. So if you would like us to see a picture of the remains, send us a DM. I'll send it to you.
Oh man, go on my personal page, y'all. I'm posting the photo. You know
You
what I'm saying?
cannot post it. It's going to get taken down. It don't matter where you post it. You can't post it.
Do you see it really will get taken down?
Mm-hmm.
Just like my TikTok because some punk ass person called and reported me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just want to throw that out there. We're gonna find out who you are. So Detective White is tasked with informing Courtney's mom, who had officially filed a missing person report on November 11th, 2016. The day before the missing person report was filed, Charlita randomly made a Facebook post saying, "I am so sad." Nobody knew what she was referring to until she was arrested. You know, folks tore her ass up in them comments. I bet you is sad, bitch. His mom is, of course, devastated. Rest in peace. I feel bad for his mom. Your son was
Yeah.
fed to the hogs and that nigga was deep fried and barbecued. That's horrible.
So an arrest warrant was issued for Charletha Mack, and she was arrested on December 14th, 2016, just one day before her 40th birthday. And the DA's office, they made a public statement, and they plan to go for the death penalty for Janetta, Gerald, and Michaela.
Hell yeah, fry them niggas.
And you know, as slow as the justice system works, Gerald Lowe finally pled guilty to first degree murder, desecration of a body, kidnapping, and gang related offenses almost 3 years later. He
Mm.
got a life sentence for the first degree murder charge with the possibility of parole. He got 7 years for desecration of a corpse, 20 years for kidnapping, and 5 years for gang activity. And he was sent to the Lawton Correctional Facility.
Gang gang, bitch. The charges for Janetta Thompson were dropped when they really found out she was not part of the actual murder, and she became a star witness for the prosecution in exchange for the discharge of her charges. So she didn't even get charged with nothing.
Mm-mm.
Shalita also pled guilty for accessory after the fact and harboring a fugitive. She was sentenced to 2 years in prison and 18 years probation.
She got
She
off easy as hell.
Yeah, she was released on January 31st, 2024 for sure. But that 18-year probation, oh, that fuck you up because you can't do shit.
Mm-mm.
You
Well, I
can't.
ain't trying to be funny. She probably ain't do shit in that way. So
But you can't do shit. Like you can't, you can't get it out in one trouble. Like, or they gonna put whatever sentence they originally imposed on her, 18 years. That's the same shit they gave Young Thug. Them long ass probation periods and shit. Sometimes it's more hassle than anything, and you got to see your probation officer once a month. That shit
yeah.
horrible.
So Michaela, she decided she was gonna take her chance and roll the dice and go to trial. So she went before Judge Shannon Holmes, the judge, not the author, on January 11th, 2020. Again, that's what, 3.5 years later? Like 3 years and 3 months later? Yeah, that's
Yep.
that's a long time. So the medical examiner testified that Courtney died due to homicidal violence by multiple modalities. Many of Courtney's facial bones were broken in several ribs. The body was also in a severe state of decomposition. I'm not sure how they could tell all this information when they burned his body, but that's what they said. So James Barkins, who was Charlie's son, he testified as well. He was not charged in the actual murder, but he agreed to testify in exchange for consideration of assistance with some charges he had pending in some other felony cases. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
It was found that the DNA on the erection vacuum device matched Gerald and Michaela.
So she probably had to help that nigga
Like, baby, I'm
shit up.
pumping it, baby. Come on. What? So I don't even want to know. So how? What? Why can't she just give him head? Like to give him like? 'Cause
Maybe their
why
hair was trash. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if I'm fucking homeless. Fucking is the last thing on my goddamn
And yeah,
mind.
but y'all could afford a vacuum pump though. That's you can't afford a place to lay your head, but y'all gonna make sure y'all get a erection vacuum device. This the priorities is just so discombobulated. So the matches they also found burnt with Courtney's body had the same. They believe the couple had sex before they burnt Courtney's body. They were some freaky ass niggas.
No, that's just fucking disgusting. You have a dead body
And you got you,
and
but
you
listen
over
to
here
the
trying to fuck. You homeless? But you
But
know
you
what?
but you pump you like listen to this. They actually had to take the time to set up the device and pump it up.
I don't even know what the device looks like. I don't even.
I don't
I
want
like.
to know.
I don't even like what I keep thinking in my head. I know it probably don't even look like that. I don't even know.
I know
But
like
I'm
an air
just.
pump.
Oh, no, I'm over here like in my mind. I'm thinking like a clear tube with like you said the air pump thing on the other end. You got to like hand pump. That's all I can think of. Like I don't know.
Yeah, man.
And then
That's
y'all have it like, okay, so
he should have got some. He better get some of
when
that
you
honey they
see
be selling at the gas
the
station.
I don't know, but when you see their pictures, first of all, Gerald looked like a crackhead. Like I ain't trying to be funny, but no, he don't like a crackhead. He looked like a heroin addict because they have like those sores all over their face. That nigga
Yeah.
looks horrible. She looked strung out too. So I really would like it didn't say anywhere, but they both look like they were strung out. Like it really gives
But they
like
say, yeah, I
junkie.
mean, yeah, but I mean, regardless of the fact that shit, yeah, that's you know, pump it up. So Carl Harris, aka Duke, who spent 6 weeks in the hospital recovering from the gunshot injury, testified he knew Courtney. He had nothing to do with him being shot. And the man that shot him, no charges were ever brought against him. It was ruled as self-defense.
So basically, this whole thing was for nothing. For nothing.
That's dumb as fuck.
Really is. So Michaela's defense, they try to sway the jury to believe that Michaela was just riding for her man. So she was much younger, she was impressionable, and that Gerald took advantage of her, and he was a mastermind behind the entire crime. I don't believe it.
No,
I'm
no.
not. When you see a picture of this bitch, no. No.
Bro,
So
the
on
nigga
January
he ain't
17th,
he couldn't even get his dick up naturally. So
so on January 17th, the jury came back and they acquitted Michaela for first degree murder. But they did charge her with second degree murder, kidnapping, and desecration of a corpse. So the jury recommended 25 years for the murder, 20 years for the kidnapping, and 4 years for the desecration charge. So Judge Holmes agreed and sentenced Michaela to 49 years in prison.
damn.
That's a long ass time.
Hell yeah, that's a long ass time, man. They should have gave her life.
Pretty much. So in March 2022, Michaela, she appealed her sentencing, but an appellate court upheld her judgment and dismissed all motions. So she's spending her time at the Mabel Bassett Correctional Facility, and she is scheduled for release December 2nd, 2061.
Nigga, the rapture gonna come.
Yeah, she might not even make it
Yeah,
by
she
the
ain't gonna make
year.
it. Yeah, the rapture gonna come.
Mm-mm.
This world gonna be over. Ain't nobody make it to 2061. And that is it.
I can't even fathom 2061.
Nigga, we will be dead.
I mean, not necessarily. That's only 40 some years. Like, I don't plan to. I believe
Niggas
not.
ain't living at 80 years old no more, man.
Actually, they are. People are living longer now than they ever have.
Oh shit. God damn, I hope so. Wow. I would that was our
No, my
story.
daddy will be 80 next year. What you
Oh man,
mean?
but that was when they made niggas. They built niggas different back then. That nigga was built from blood, sweat, slave, and tears. Like yeah, they were built different. You know what I'm saying? That was during a true segregation time when they was, that the niggas were built different. These new niggas ain't built like this. We full of goddamn lemon pepper wings, lean, and fucking Percocets. We ain't the same. Niggas ain't living
I
that
have to
long.
agree with you there. Have to
Exactly.
agree with you there.
So that's the Disappearance of Courtney Palmer, episode 20. And just I wanted just a side note, man. Somebody reported my TikTok, and I'm very upset about that. On last week's episode. So make sure if you didn't listen to last week's episode, make sure you check it out. But somebody reported my TikTok, and
But it's on Instagram though.
yeah, it is on Instagram. But they reported they said sexual harassment. When I think of sexual harassment, it's like it made me think like I'm going to somebody like, hey, baby, so I don't know, you must be tired because you've been running through my mind all day. Like that's what I think about sexual harassment. I ain't say nothing to harass sexually, whatever. We'll talk about that later. But you know what we about to do right now? We're gonna do the episode, not an episode, but it's our segment. It's called
Love, Lies, and Alibis.
but instead of
Today,
alibis. Hold on, but it's not alibis. It's love, lies, and politics.
and it was purely a coincidence that this case
Coincidence.
just so happened to fall literally on election night 2016, and it was Trump Bartelli. Like, I swear, pure coincidence.
I didn't realize it until when I read it. I'm like, oh damn, that is crazy though. And
Yeah,
and it was the two candidates was a man and a woman, and it was Trump and all that. So yeah,
yeah,
that was
like
crazy.
that just literally fell into place. So, but So let's talk about it, because apparently today is the last day that I'm allowed to talk about this.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
how
So
you tell
let
me
me
how I'm
explain. Hold
allowed
on.
to breathe, but
So first let's get to the nitty gritty. First of all, me and Tiffany, we both are on the same page when it come down how we feel about Trump. It is just amazing to me um how everything just went. Like it's if I can't even talk, it's so crazy to even talk about it, to talk about it. The frustration comes in. We knew that was going to be white people that going to vote for Trump, because we know that a lot of white men ain't going to vote. Well, white women ain't going to vote for. Vote for Kamala, because that's a black woman, and white men. But to know the many of black people that voted for Trump and justify voting for him is mind-boggling, and that's where our frustration comes in. Because let's talk about it. If we want to talk about Trump, man, Trump is he's a known racist. There's many and many, many cases. We can start with the fact that he was sued by the government for discrimination in housing. He has been sued several times in business for discrimination. He has publicly said that he would prefer to have Jews. He do not want black people counting his money. Not to mention what he did with the what's the Park
George
Boys?
Floyd situation. Oh,
No,
you talking
no,
about the
no.
Central Park Five?
Central Park Five, when they was exonerated, when they would found out that the cops lied, and locked up
He
these
just
five boys.
said that like not even 2 months ago that they should still be executed.
Yes,
Those were innocent men.
yes, and he still in 5 months. Now this is years and years and years and years after he put in a whole page saying that they need the death penalty. Find out that they were innocent, never apologized, and then you still stand on it years later and
And
you're running
I
for
believe they
president.
were filing a lawsuit against him, if I'm not mistaken,
No,
for
they did. They filed for they did. It's the what's one the one when they attacked the character
defamation of character,
defamation of character. Yeah, they just filed the lawsuit, all five of them, right?
as they
Not to
should.
mention, not to mention, Trump also. Let's just talk about when he was a president. So when he was president, you do realize when everything happened with the what was that at? That was in Charleston? No, not Charleston. What was that at? They were having a rally, if you want to call it, where it was white supremacists and it was protesters, right? And Trump actually said out of his own mouth, you can look it up, that there were good people on both sides. Now, how is it good people on both sides when you got people that protesting against individuals that saying white supremacy reigns, that white power,
Um,
blacks ain't shit, Jews ain't shit, or nothing? He says it's good
or
people on
how
both
about
sides. Oh,
he
we could
was
keep
in?
going. Go ahead.
How about he
Go
was
ahead.
endorsed by the KKK?
Oh, yes.
Hello,
Think about
hello.
we always say this at the end of the day. We know that not all Trump supporters are racist, but all racists are Trump supporters, and that's a known fact. But not to mention that he called Haiti. He said that Haiti was a shithole country. Or how about the fact that he, in his not even politics, but during his whole campaign, all he did was use fear mongering, talk about black and brown. I mean, talk about brown people. Whenever he mentions immigrants or mentions immigration, it's always targeted to brown people. Well, we know those are not the only immigrants that come in. You got people that's coming in from Turkey. You got people that coming in from other countries, but he focuses on the brown people. It's fear mongering. Then what about the fact that he said that they're taking our black jobs? What the fuck is a black job? People don't realize that's racist. So that's just on the whole.
And you know what? If even if you would like to bypass all of that, bypass all of that. So if
That's
we go
bypassing
sweep that
all.
under the rug, let's talk about the fact that one, he specifically said that he wants to get rid of the Department of Education. Do you understand the Department of Education? They give how are kids supposed to go to college? They issue Pell Grants. They are the ones who take care of public schools. They are the ones who deal with all that. Let's talk about that. How are these kids gonna go to college? Student loans, they take care of that. Let's talk about how he wants to take away Medicaid, Medicare, SNAP benefits. He wants to take away birth control. Excuse me, if you want to take away birth control, so you're telling me that I don't have control over my body, so I have to get pregnant, but then you want to take away abortion, so I have to have a kid, but then if I can't afford that kid, I don't have any programs to assist me with having a kid that I didn't want to have and I couldn't afford to have.
In the first place.
That that doesn't make sense at all. And I'm not trying to be funny, but everybody does not need to be parents. Let's
Yes.
start there. Or there are so many victims of rape, incest. Um, there are children who there are going to be born, I'm like saying born with a fetal disability that will, affecting, like, you rather
Where they
let
would
the
never
child
be normal. They
grow
would
and
never be
suffer.
normal. Yeah, they would
Yes,
never
or
have a
like, I
normal
understand, but
life.
it's a point, not even that, or if it's a point where they're telling you your child is not going to survive, more than a few days outside of your womb, why would you want to carry it? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have the choice to do that. That has nothing to, like, my body choices have nothing to do with the government. And like I said, then you want to take away my right to make a choice. And I'm not big on abortions. I worked at Planned Parenthood, and we had to educate these women, like, it's not birth control. It's not. You'd be running to the clinic every time you fuck up. No, that's not what it's for.
Yeah, but at the same
Things
time,
happen.
yes,
Things
it's a
happen.
woman's
I
choice.
understand, but that's, you know what I'm saying, but that's not the government's position, because at the end of the day, you got to answer for that on the other side. That ain't got nothing to do with nobody. Then there's that. Then there's the fact that you want to bring back stop and frisk. You want to bring back um
Well, it's even
violence.
let's talk about the immunity. Let's talk about the police
Yes,
immunity.
that's what I'm
Okay,
about, the
so the
immunity.
police right now get qualified immunity. According to Trump, he wanted to give them full immunity, and you have to understand what that means. What that means for especially people of African Americans. Okay, we are already know that we are always disproportionate when it comes down to fair treatment by police. We have a horrible, or we have our relationship is not good with police officers. Police were originally created for blacks. If you think about it, the original police were slave patrols, so they were created just to dictate and control what black people are doing. That's why we don't have a good relationship. So now you're telling me that you're not only going to say not qualified immunity, right? Where as long as they don't violate your right, but now they're full immunity. It just gives them a opportunity to basically do whatever they want. Like real talk.
Yeah,
All
to
they
be
got
a
to do
free
is
for all. Like,
yes,
does
because think
nobody
about it. Hold on one
remember?
second. Hold on one second. Think about it right now. Right now, they have qualified immunity. Think about how many times where it was an actual video. We're talking about an actual video of them committing a murder that's killing an innocent individual, and it still take. Look what happened to what's her name? The young lady was it from Kentucky who just got justice from that police officer, and this happened almost 3-4 years ago. What's the lady name? Remember she got shot in her house? Her
Breonna
boyfriend,
Taylor?
Breonna Taylor, yes. She
No, no, technically they did not get justice, because they're trying to come back. If I'm not mistaken, they're trying to come back and still blame the boyfriend. So no, they're
no, no,
not.
yeah, but when they found the cop guilty, but at the same time, they was trying to blame him. I say all this to say, at the end of the day, even when there is evidence to prove video proof, it's still damn near impossible to prosecute a police officer. You're trying to say
Excuse
I'm going
me.
to make it even harder, and then okay, that just that. But I just one question I would like, and if you are listening and you are a Trump supporter, I would love to sit down, have a conversation. We could do it on live. We could do it just do DM between me and you. Please tell me, what is it about Trump that makes you this confident to vote for him as a black man for what he has did for us? There's nothing Trump has
Nothing.
did for Black America. People talk about the First Step Act. Okay, I'll give you that, but they talk about, oh yeah, but what about the money that he gave for the HBCUs? If you look it up, um, Biden and Kamala actually gave more money to HBCUs, players more money to HBCUs than what Trump did. So let's talk about policies, right? Everybody want to say, yes, let's talk about policies. You talk about an individual that filed bankruptcy over 6 times. He's a failed businessman. Every single business that he has had has failed. The only reason that he is successful is off of his name, because he presented a facade, a persona, as if his name meant millions. So a lot of people use his name. This dude is for defrauded people, so many individuals out of their money. Do you realize that he literally put, I mean, hundreds of businesses out? I mean, hundreds of small businesses out of business because he used them to build his towers or whatever, and then he filed bankruptcy because he wouldn't pay them. Right?
Or let's talk about, everybody's like, well, I was getting more money under Trump. I was getting more money. My money
Oh,
was
let's
flowing
talk
better.
about that, please.
So okay, so if people don't, I don't think that people understand that when you have a president, it's like buying a used car. So when you buy a used car, you get all the problems, all the good things that previous owner had. So the reason that the economy was so good under Trump was because that was Obama's economy. The reason the economy is so bad now is we're under Trump's economy.
And not
So
even
when
that. That
he
let's
comes in, when he comes
yes.
in again, they're gonna be like, "Oh, the economy is great." Yes, because that was Biden's economy.
And
So
if you
then when we come out in the next 4 years, we're gonna come out again under Trump's
also
economy, and
count
it's gonna go down like that. It's not
and if you don't
rocket
if
science.
people don't believe me, all you gotta do is do your research. There was no policies that he implemented. For example, the one tax break that he gave, it wasn't for the young the tax break that he gave was just like the Reagan tax break, where what you do is you tax break the higher up and then everything's supposed to trickle down, called trickle down economics. It never works, but they always do it. The tax break that they did gave, if you was making less than $107,000, $117,000, I believe. I'm sorry. You did not see any changes on your taxes whatsoever. So even the tax rate that he stands on and says he gave, nobody saw anything. If you look at it right now, the inflation right now is the same right now today as it was in 2019. Do your research. It is. It's the same. So yes, inflation went up, but you got to understand it was a pandemic that happened, a worldwide pandemic. So we were not the only ones that inflation went up. The whole world went up, but we were number one. We had the less inflation than any other country in this world. And right now we are at where we were in 2019. You see what I'm saying?
And
So that's what I said. So
one more thing I would like
yeah,
to
go ahead.
add. I'm not saying, I mean, yes, I would have loved to see a black woman in as a president. Yes, that would have been a historical moment. But let me be clear. The crackhead, my auntie crackhead, okay? My auntie is a crackhead. I would have voted for that bitch before I voted for Trump, okay? She
Hands
could have did a
down.
better job before Trump went. I don't care who, they could have put my 13-year-old in office
Yes.
before I would have voted for Trump.
Remember, you voted for a felon, a
And
rapist.
felons can't even get jobs, but he has
I mean,
34 felonies.
yeah.
Like, that does not make sense.
No,
Y'all
no, no, it
have
does make sense. It's white privilege. And not only that, if it's white privilege, but it's also this shows you that where we are as a country where did the
I'm
Republican
disappointed
Party, yeah.
as a people.
Oh,
We're
yes,
supposed
as
to
a
be
people,
like
yes.
bad boys. We're supposed to ride together. We're supposed to die together. And I'm not trying to be funny. And the another thing that aggravates me, people are saying that Kamala is stupid. The woman has a freaking, she has several degrees. She was a prosecutor. Like, the woman is not smart.
No, she's highly
She's
educated.
not
Yes.
stupid. Like,
Yeah, she's
that woman
highly
is
educated.
she's very highly educated. She's very intelligent. And let's keep it real. Y'all, especially black men, y'all didn't want to see a black woman in charge. Like, that's really what it was. And it's really starting to give that y'all don't like us. And that has nothing to do with just this situation, but it's really starting to give that y'all don't like black women. And it's just starting to just be a lot.
But you
Y'all
know
would
what?
rather go far
Yeah.
left. They're like, well, saw where's he? Well, I just identify with him more. What can you identify with him as?
It's
As a
nothing. It's
felon, as
nothing.
a deadbeat ass baby daddy, as a rapist? What can you? What has he done for you as a black man? She even said, try to implement policies like, we're going to do this to help everyone. She had plans for inflation. She had plans. She had policies, but nobody could get past the fact that she's a black woman and she's part of the Biden administration. If you
You
want to
know,
be
and but
truthful,
not
Biden
I
was part of the Obama administration.
but you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I think, and also I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that number one, she did not get a chance to prove herself. Everybody was trying the same standards that they held her to, they didn't have held Trump to, because they
And
talk about what about
she
your
has
policies? What about your
such,
policies? Trump has no policies. People don't
yes,
understand
yes, he
about
does. He has policies what he's gonna get rid of.
mm,
That's what his
yeah,
policies are. That's what he's
yeah,
standing
we're
on.
talking about Project 20, yeah, Project 25, yes,
And
but I'm
when,
talking
I'm
about
not trying to be funny, the people that he's talking about, he's about to deport. Baby, I got family members who's not here legally.
but not even that though. Even the people that did for who gonna do them jobs?
Yes, who's gonna go out there
Who's
and
the fuck
pick crops?
who gonna be picking the car? Who gonna be doing these roofs? Nigga, who gonna cut my grass? I ain't trying to be funny.
No,
Let's just
I
be
know,
honest
like,
with you.
seriously, like especially in like California, and I get there's a right way and a wrong way to do things. And no, I'm not a fan of them giving all them immigrants money. No, absolutely not. I am not a fan. But it was, to me, it was the picker of the lesser of two evils, and we
Yeah.
just fucking signed a deal with the goddamn devil. And we
Um,
still on good time. We still good. So if you like us, and we've been getting a lot of good feedback, and I appreciate the constructive criticism, we do take into note all of that. So we are still working on some things. We do take into account for that. So we do appreciate that. We appreciate all the messages and all of the positivity. We love it. We absolutely love it. So make sure you are rating us wherever you can: Apple, Spotify, Pandora, YouTube, wherever you listen. If you could leave us a review, we will be so grateful. And like I said, we have made it to episode 20. We are so thankful for your support, and like we just are like, we are so hyped. And it is only up from here. So make sure you share the podcast with your family and friends. And the lady at Starbucks who makes the wonderful caramel apple spice, share it with her too. And that's, oh yeah, make sure you follow us on social media: Facebook, Melanin Mysteries Podcast, and TikTok, same thing, and Melanin Mysteries Pod on Instagram. And that's all we got. And if you don't agree with what we said, you can surely cancel us right now. My feelings will not be hurt.
No more. Okay, yes. You grieved. This is good. You
Whatever. It's only been
grieved.
3 days.
I know you grieved. That's it. Jesus rose. A lot happened in 3 days. Jesus rose from the dead in 3 days. Jonah got out the whale mouth in 3 days. Know what I'm saying? You're done with the grieving. We about to move on. Know what I'm
You
saying?
see how
Cause
you
we
don't tell me how to grieve? We always
yeah
talk about in these cases like you can't tell nobody how to grieve. Like I
no
ain't
we the grieve
yes,
you
like
grieve.
yeah.
All right. So with that being said, look. I don't have nothing. I'm good. We are good. Just make sure you check us out. Appreciate all the feedback and go ahead and leave us out, girl. You know what to say.
All right, so just remember that love should not come with a life sentence. So make sure you choose freedom and not felonies.
And with that being said, another one. We have to see you next week. Hey, look, you
Just
know what? Like I said, I'll say this and I'll be done with it. You know what I'm saying? America and people that listening, if you voted for him, you know what I'm saying? Just understand you going the
I don't want to hear shit.
you pit who you want. So when everything happened, you deserve exactly what happened to you.
If
Just
you,
remember that.
I pray that none of you or that nobody you know, your brother, your daddy, none of y'all happen to have police brutality, because I will turn my fucking head. I will not donate to your GoFundMe
Oh,
because
not at all,
y'all
nigga.
put that
You could
nigga
do all
in
the
office.
fish dinners you want. You know what I'm saying?
I
I'm
ain't
not.
buying a goddamn one of them.
Yeah.
I am so disappointed in us as a people. We could have band together. Shit, we could have put Beyonce in office. Nigga, I ain't give a damn who we put in office.
Yeah.
But shit, you could have did a better job. You could have put your ass up there and did a better job. And I ain't trying to be funny. I think we do need a woman to be president. It don't have to be her, but we need a woman to block some shit down, because that man has a fucking tantrum and will go fucking blow up Israel tomorrow. We don't know what the
Yeah.
fuck he
And
gonna
but
do.
yeah, but not and I'll say
How
this.
he have
I
temper
wanna
tantrums.
and just remember they have the House, the Senate, and they got the Supreme Court. So
So
y'all
we
fucked.
ain't shit
Yeah,
about to
y'all
happen.
fucked up.
You
Yeah, so
go.
all y'all niggas that was screaming out, know what I'm saying, stimulus checks, the niggas that was
Ain't gonna
screaming
be
out
no
he making
stimulus.
money was always it's the broke niggas that already living off of fucking hand me outs now. So you definitely ain't about to get shit, nigga. They about to literally turn your back on all you niggas. So all you niggas that voted for him thinking that he about to put money in your pockets, y'all a dumbass. And when you get a minute, I just want, and I'm done after this, look up tariffs because that's the only policy he had. And when you look up tariffs and what his plan is, you about to see y'all fucked
I
up
don't
real
even know
bad.
what a tariff is.
Look it up. Yes, look it up. So with that being said, look, we done. You look, like always, Khadijah Brown, the
So
GoFundMe. Check it
nice.
out. Our episode on Khadijah Brown. Look it up. We are riding for her. We still want everything to be done to get this girl the help that she need, to get her a new trial so she can at least get resentencing and get her mom the ability to have grandmother rights for the kids. And that's it. What else? What else you got, girl? We don't want to take about we about 15 hours in this damn thing.
No,